Someone asked me of how he can create this particular loader. So in this video I'm just going to show you how you can create this loader with just little HTML and then CSS. In my HTML file I have this particular division with the class loader, and also I linked my CSS to my HTML file in the above link. So the next thing that we are going to do is to come back to our CSS and then apply these basic styles to the body. So the next thing that we will do next is to target the loader. So we are going to target the loader class, and then what we are going to do first is to give it a height and width. So let's give it a width of 5 pixels, so let's say 50 pixels instead. So let's give it a width of 50 pixels, and then we are going to give it a height to the height should be 50 pixels as well. So let's say 50 pixels this way. So now if we should run this particular code, we should be having nothing showing on our screen because we've not applied any border to our loader. So the next thing that we are going to do is to give it a border, and I want to give it the height of the border to be 5 pixels, and then we are going to give it a color of solid something like white color. So I should use #ZZZ for now. So if we should run this particular code, we should be having something like this showing our screen. So the next thing that we are going to do is to give it a border radius to make it circular. So it should rather be ZZZ. So let's give it a border radius. So let's say border radius to be 50%. That will make it circular. So now we are now coming to give it the border top. So we should give the border top, let's see, border. So the border top should be 5 pixels solid. I think we should use blue. So 5 pixels solid, and then the color I'll be using is blue. So solid blue this way. So now if we should run this particular code, we are going to have something like this showing on our screen. So what we are going to do next is to add animation to it, and the animation that we are going to be using is animation. So animation to be, let's say, spin. So we want it to spin. So 1 second, and then linear, 1 second, linear, infinite. So something like this. So the next thing that we are going to do is to come to our animation aspect, that is our keyframe. So we are just going to have our keyframe this way, and the animation is spin. And what we are going to do next is to give it from 0% to, let's say, transform. Should be transform, rotate 0 degree, rotate 0 degree this way. That is for 0%. And the next thing that we are going to do is for 100%, this way. It should be like, come in. So for 100%, we should have it transform and rotate 360 degrees. So transform, rotate in brackets 300 and then 60 degrees this way, 360 degrees. So now if we should run this particular code, we should be having our, let's go back to our CSS. I think we made something wrong. So back to our CSS. Okay, our error is here. So instead of transform, I rather did transition. So I'll just change it to transform. So now if we should run this particular code this way, we should be having our loader loading. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow me for more tech content like this.